All right, let's apply Symbiotech PROTECH to this natural lizard boot. This is a natural hide and is very susceptible to damage if unprotected. So in your box, you're going to find a 15 ml bottle of PROTECH, which is enough to do 5 to 10 pairs of boots, depending on if you do the shaft or not, and a no-soak applicator, which prevents moisture or the product from seeping through to the other side. And we'll talk about why that's important later on. You're going to use the second side for a different purpose. So we're going to start by taking our applicator and folding it into force. And we're going to apply a few drops on the leading edge. And we're going to start with a test spot. As these hides are dehydrated, you want to check for color fastness with this product. This product is safe on any natural or synthetic hides, but because these are dehydrated materials, you can darken them slightly. So you always want to check color fastness to make sure you're going to be happy with the result. So I'm going to take a small area on the back of the boot, an inconspicuous area, and apply a little bit of product. Now, I've already done a previous test spot, so I'm not going to wait. But typically, after your test spot, you want to wait 5 to 10 minutes and then level off any excess to make sure you're going to be happy with the end result. Now, after I validated my test spot, I want to take and apply more product to the applicator, and now I'm going to do my initial application. This is layerable on some boots, but we'll talk about that more in a few minutes. I'm going to go ahead and do a nice application over the entire vamp, the lower part of the boot first, making sure I get in all the tight spots and thoroughly working it into the surface. It doesn't take a lot of product. A little product goes a long way. So there's no need to overdo it. I'm going to flip it around and do the backside. I'm going to apply a few more drops of product. Because this is a no-soak applicator, you should need less and less product as the product stays on the one side that you're using. Now, after I do my application on as much of the vamp as I can, I'm going to take my applicator and I'm going to adjust it so that I have product on both sides of the crease. Now, this is so that I can get a good application down where the vamp and the sole meets, which is the most susceptible to damage as it's the lowest and closest to the ground. So I'm going to make sure that I get in here really, really good, and the toe box as well, as these areas are the most susceptible to damage. Now, after I finish my application, I'm going to wait 5 to 10 minutes, and then I'm going to do one of two things. Either I'm going to take the backside of my applicator or a clean microfiber towel, and I'm going to level off any excess material, or I'm going to do a secondary test spot to see if I can apply a second layer. Now, you can already see after 5 to 10 minutes, it is already dry to the touch and ready for either final removal or a second application. Now, I am going to do a second test spot to ensure color fastness, because the more moisture we introduce in this, the more potential we have to change or darkening the color. And I can tell right off the rip that we're going to be good with the second layer. And again, I've already validated this on the other boot. So now I'm going to take my bottle, shake it up, and I'm going to apply a little bit more product. Like I mentioned, you need to apply less and less to your applicator, because you can see there's still moisture on it from the previous applications. So no need to overdo it. This bottle should last a lot of boots. So now I'm going to do, my second layer is going to be a lot less material. I'm just going to do a quick application. And this is more than anything just for even coverage than anything else, because it is a film build product and will protect like no other product on the market. Better longevity, better wear resistance, better repelling of water and stains. There's just nothing on the market like Symbiotech PROTECH. The science and materials are second to none. We spared no expense in creating this product because I am an absolute lover of boots, and I wanted something to protect my boots like I felt they deserved. So now, again, I'm going to readjust. My application is done on the majority of the boot. I'm going to readjust my applicator, and I'm going to do a second quick application right up against where the vamp and the sole meet. A second application, a second layer isn't necessary. On some boots, I do it because I want to ensure maximum protection. But again, do the test spots to ensure that you're going to be happy with the end result. It's better to do one layer and keep the look of your boot like you want it than to do a second layer and risk that. I've never had that issue, but there's always that potential when you're dealing with natural or synthetic hides. Now, if you're going to do the shaft, now's the time to do it. I typically don't do my shafts, or I just do one quick layer because my shafts are protected by my pants, so not as much need to prevent damage. Now, you can see here The boot on the left that's unprotected, that water is instantly going to seep in and start to potentially stain or damage that boot. The right that is protected is going to bounce water off, and none's going to absorb in. Look at how quickly that water just seeps into that unprotected boot. Again, if this goes left untreated, you're going to risk damage and staining of the boot. Now, you're going to see here, even after 15 minutes, that left boot is still just holding onto that water, which is going to stain and damage your precious boots. And there you go. That's how you apply Symbiotech PROTECH